Hey, does anybody remember that time Lorde wrote and sang the ultimate millennial anti-anthem?
And we'll never be royals.
So Lorde would be one of the youngest millennials, arguably on the cusp, but either way, for such a young artist, she was so self-aware, and this song kind of painted the picture of like the dichotomy of what a lot of us millennials grew up with in the 80s and 90s of like excess and showing off and cribs and all that stuff to our adulthood being like not that flashy. So the song itself starts off with that beat that so prominently features the snaps, and I remember so clearly one of my closest friends at the time when this song came out hearing this song for the first time and saying, this beat is wrong. It steps all over all her vocals and stuff, and it'll never do anything. And I disagreed, and, one of us was right. And then this first line comes in, and her vocal sounds awesome. She has this kind of sense of swagger, like she doesn't really care. And the melody is in what's called Mixolydian mode or scale, and it hits it pretty hard. And that kind of gives it the sense of like, I don't know how else to describe it, like notoriousness.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
And other pop songs use Mixolydian mode for similar purposes, like Shadow by Ashley Simpson.
Living in the shadow of someone else's dream.
And I love how in the second part of the verse, or I guess you could call it the pre-chorus, like the vibe kind of switches a little bit. It gets more bouncy and upbeat.
But every song's like gold teeth, gray goose dripping in the bathroom.
And then this hook comes in, and man, like it is basically a jingle, right? Like this is so catchy, and there's not a whole lot to it, but you can't deny that it's a great hook.
And we'll never be royals.
And I always talk on here about like hidden background vocals and melodies and stuff, and this is the opposite. The background vocals are so pronounced to the point where she even like stacks them. But there's also like little production details too, like in the second verse, this like synth comes in and just pulses almost like a synthetic heartbeat. And then the bridge is this kind of like sophisticated layering of singing vocalizations and sing talking.
We're better than we ever dreamed. And I'm in love with being queen.
This whole first era of Lorde is like my favorite. I got to see her live around this time. I thought it was so innovative, and her debut album to me is the perfect album. I listen to it front to back, no skips.